So I would say with these ones you might be frustrated, but have fun with them. Okay? Try to have fun with them. You just need to practice. So yesterday we talked about the deer question, and I will encourage you to figure out interpretation, and then this is your clean version of the interpretation, because the interpretation might get pretty messy, and then I want you to transfer the important information over to your clean version, and I'm gonna ask you to do that today quite often. What's so unique about this question? Look up and just make sure you understand that we had something that was directly due east of you. So you go horizontal, perfectly horizontal. Something could be due south of you, due north of you, right? It could be either straight under you, above you, or to the sides. It depends. So that happens from time to time. It's because of this that we were guaranteed a 90 here. Remember, there's that north-south line that we used to come up with our 90, and then we added the 40 to come up with the 130 of the resulting triangle. Okay, so keep that in mind. That comes in very handy. So let's try another one. Here we go. I asked you to do this. I'm guessing some of you did. So here we go. This is the correction of it. It says you travel 12 kilometers in the direction north 30 east. So this goes together. This is you're given the distance and the direction in which you're headed. So that's kind of important here if they give you that. Okay, so this happens first. Then you turn. Turning is a very important key word. Something changes direction. Okay, so you basically travel 12 kilometers in this direction and then you shift. Okay, you head north 50 degrees west for 70 kilometers. That's my second direction and distance. The question asks, how far are you from your starting point? So let's do our interpretation, the messy part, okay? So let's see. You travel 12 kilometers north 30 east. Can you please do this for yourself on your study sheet? Just have one of these, because a lot of you, maybe because you're nervous, you're going to mess up on this, okay? You're going to mess up your east and west. You're going to go in the wrong direction, and it's going to be frustrating because your diagram is off. So just have a tiny compass rose on your study sheet, and then you never have to worry about it again. Okay? Let me see. There we go. So let's start this. 12 north 30 east. So watch this. Let's go over here to our study sheet. So that means that you're going to start north and you're going to turn 30 east, correct? You're going to go this way. You're looking up on the screen, right? You're going to go this way. So I'm going to start my diagram somewhere here so that I can actually move that way. And you may have to erase. That's fine. So this is your start. Because this is compass direction, I would strongly advise to make a nice compass rose right there. Okay, with a ruler. I will emphasize with a ruler. Make one of those. So you're going north 30 east. So you go with the north line, turn 30 eastward, and then draw your line. Like that. And then we turn north 50 west. So I know I'm going to be in trouble already here. It says north. If we go up to this one, it's north and then 50 degrees west, correct? So I have to head in this direction. Uh-oh. I messed up. So I did that. I hope you're not using pen. I should have warned you. So what you do if that happens is just slightly make this a bit shorter so you can make it work. Okay? So you just go like that, and you're going to go here. So your starting point, you turn here. At that moment, remember, this goes with you. This is kind of like a target that goes with you like this. And at that turning point, we make another one of these. Just dashed and light. Did I say use a ruler? I think I did, right? Turn. So we're turning there. Where are we headed? North 50 west. So you slightly go along the north line and then you turn 50 degrees west. 50 degrees. And we're going for 7 kilometers. Okay. So let's write down the 12 kilometers here and the 7 kilometers right here. So that length of that line is 7 kilometers. Let me zoom into that so you can see. That's what it should look like. This is our interpretation of the problem. Question. Are we told that we're going to continue our journey until we perfectly line up with our starting point? Like, does it tell us give us any indication that we keep going till we're perfectly lined up with our starting point? It doesn't, right? It does not say that. So my advice would always be to either make this shorter or go shoot past. Oh, you can't see that, sorry. Either make it shorter or shoot past it, like make it longer, so you're up here. I'm going to stop right there, okay? So start, turn, stop. So we have our triangle sort of appearing here. And it's asking how far are you here at the stop from your starting. So it's asking for this line right here. Don't draw that line. You're only going to make that in the clean version. This is why. We have to figure out angles. Okay? This was 30. Make sure you write that in there. 30. This is the north-south line here, correct? You're looking up here, right, on the screen? This is also the north-south line. What are these two dashed lines? They would be called parallel lines. So this is a transversal, correct? Can we bring the 30 over in here? Yes, we can. So that's our first step. You bring the 30 over in there. So it's 30, okay? And we say alternate interior angles are congruent. All right. Why is that helpful? Do you see a straight angle here? Straight line? We have both angles on either side. We could figure out this angle here, which will end up being inside the triangle that we're trying to sketch. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm going to zoom out here. This is our interpretation. And this is our clean version here. Clean right next to it. So I'm going to grab that and try to replicate. Like I tell my students sometimes, go with the ruler to that side and just kind of bring it over and just do this. And then this other one, you just kind of mimic that, copy it. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? This is start, turn, stop, or end. Let's call it end so that we have different letter, S, T, E, right, for that triangle. This angle right here is the one that's gold. That one is the most important angle right there that you're going to bring with you. That's this one right here. Go to our interpretation and we're going to highlight that orange. That's the one we want because that's going to end up inside the triangle. So how are we going to find that? We're going to go 180. Is it blurry or is it just my... We're going to go 180 minus the 30 here. Minus the 50 over there. So we're taking these two angles away from 180 because we've got a straight angle here. And that would be 100 degrees. Okay. So you put the 100 in here. What else can you bring over? We have side lengths, correct? So the 7 goes here, and the 12 goes here. Voila, you've got your triangle. Now you can solve just like before. It's asking us how far we are from the start and the end here. So this is our unknown here. Before I move on, okay, I want you to remember this one. Some students would say, oh, the 30, I'm going to bring that over and put that in here. You cannot do that. Because look at the 30. The 30 is between the north-south line, that dashed line, and the first direction. Okay? That's it. You cannot bring it in here because this line, although it looks like it's the same as this one, it is not. It's slightly slanted. Slightly slanted. So don't be bringing that in here. Instead, use alternate interior angles to find out an angle that may appear later on. Okay, so that's important. Note, I'll just make a note here. Note, not 30 degrees. Okay, I think that is important there to make sure it's like that corner there is not 30 degrees. Okay, so let's get started with the solving part. What kind of triangle do I have here? Side, angle, side. So how am I going to find x? Cosine law. So x squared is equal to 12 squared plus 7 squared minus 2 times 12 times 7. So it's not the solving that's going to necessarily be the toughest part here. It's going to be the interpreting of the problem. So that's going to be where most of the marks are going to be located. We take the root of that, and that would be 222.17, and that keeps going. If you take the root of that, that's 14.91 kilometers. Okay, so that is one question there from start to finish. Let's try one more. Come with me. 63. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to get you to try this one. Try 63A on your own right now. I don't care if you get it wrong. I really don't care, but you need to try it. You need to try it. Like, give it your best. And I will maybe point out a few things that you may have gotten wrong. So give this a try. Interpret it. Draw a clean version of it. Don't solve it. Pay attention to the little things that I'm going to mention as I solve this. So east 40 south for 3 miles. So we're somewhere over here. And because it's a compass direction question, I told you use a ruler, right? So I don't know. I feel like it's going to be better if you use a ruler. So east 40 south. So you got to make sure that 40 shows up where it belongs, right? So you're going this way for 3 miles. Then you turn. So this is your start. This is your turn. And this is 3 miles long, okay? So we have another direction that we're headed. So we make our compass rose one more time. This one says east 80 north. So you go from the east line, you measure 80 degrees going north. And here it is. And this is the kicker. Mr. Dirksen, should I do this? That lines up perfectly there, and I can just close it, and it's a nice, beautiful triangle. It would be nice, but it doesn't tell us that. If the question says, hey, you end up due east of where you started, then yes, you're perfectly lined up, but it doesn't tell us that. So I would say it's 5 miles, right? This one, I would make it longer like that. Just don't perfectly line up with it, with the starting point. So this is 5 miles there. So this is your end position. So technically, yes, you could close this if you wanted to. I don't have anything against closing it, because it is going to be a side, but you can clearly tell that 40 should not come with us in our clean triangle. It shouldn't. But what can you do with the 40? It's touching the dashed line, which we know these dashed lines are parallel. So the 40 comes in here. I'm going to use a red pen for that one. The 40 comes in here, which in turn is going to allow me to solve for, right, if this is 40, we're going to be able to find that one. I won't do it just yet. I will make my clean version of this. So I copy that, and then I just go like that. Fun stuff. There you go. So 3 miles, 5 miles, and this is going to be found. This is my angle T here. We're going to go 180 minus 80 minus 40, and that leaves us with 60 degrees, right? So that is the golden angle right there. You should not have an 80 in here. You should not have a 40 in here, right? You should also not have the 40 in here. That's wrong, because remember, the 40 makes the 40 with the east-west line and this side, but it doesn't belong in here, okay? So it doesn't really help us. I would omit it. I would not bring it in here, okay? Is it side angle side again? Oh, I have to redo this one. Start, and there we go. So to figure out, determine the direct distance from the dock to the current position, it's asking for this. Yeah, let's do this one more time. Nice and easy numbers here. Write this down just so you have the solution to it. So x would be root of, today I'm not too worried about solving. Today I'm worried about, do we know how to sketch these things, how to graph them? That is by far the most important part today. That's why I'm rushing through these ones. Like the solving part, I'm pretty sure at this point, you have a pretty good idea on how to do that, okay? B, state the compass direction. State the compass direction from the dock to the boat's current position. Say what? I want to be able to go to my dock here. Can you write down dock as well? It's where we start, right? This is dock here. I want to be able to tell a person, hey, from the dock, head in a certain direction. So it's going to be north, something, something, east, correct? To get to here. How would I do that? And I will argue this. Listen careful to this one. I will figure out what this angle is here. Subtract 40 from it, and then I will know this part. And that is all I need to give me a direction to the end or wherever I end up. Okay? So my goal is I'm going to go find angle S, like I'm going to find, or angle D for dock. I'm going to find this whole thing here. Let's go ahead and do that. How do we do that again? You can use sine law. You could use cosine law because you've got all three sides. Whatever you want to do, just use it, right? So here we go. Come with me down here. I will use sine law. I don't know. Just today I'm going to use sine law. So sine of 60 over 4.36. I want sine of dock or sine of start, it doesn't matter. I feel like D is a little easier to work with. Over, what's across angle D? It's the 5 mile side, right? In case you're wondering what, okay. The 4.36 is the side I just found out, so I have my pair. And so if I want this angle, I must use this side in the denominator here in my setup, okay? So let's go ahead and solve for that angle. Sine of D is equal to 5 times that divided by that. So 5 times sine of 60 divided by 4.36. If I crunch that, divided by 4.36. It starts with a 0, so that's a good sign. If it doesn't start with a 0, you are going to get an error, which means something went wrong when you set it up. Okay, so I'm going to go second sine to call in the inverse, copy paste. So here we go. Angle D is sine inverse of 0.993 . That's angle D. So one more time. I'm going to sketch it one more time. I know that this is 40 from the very beginning. I know that. How could I find out this little wedge here? We just talked about that. I'm going to go 83.29, which is the whole angle. I'm going to take 40 away so I can find that one. So I'm going to go 83.29 minus 40. That's 43.29. So this is 43.29. And remember, this is east, and technically there's a north here. This is my current position. So I can tell someone from the dock now, I can say, hey, all you have to do is head in the direction east. I'm going to start with the east line because it's touching it. Let's just go 43 degrees, okay? We're not going to, the 29 for now, that's okay. And then you're going to say north. So east, 43, and then north, turning north. So this is the direction. If you went 43.29, I'm okay with that. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just don't see that anybody would ever give you a degree with decimals in a scenario where you have to head a certain direction. Could you do it differently? Yeah, you could go north. You could figure out this angle here because there's a 90 here. So it's north 47 east. Yeah. So same scenario, same idea. This isn't very common, by the way, this one, but at least you would know how to tackle it, right? And so for how you would say, hey, just head in the direction east 43 north for 4.36 miles, right? We already determined that length of this little stretch here. We know what that is now as well. Okay, all right. You're gonna have to work this out, okay? Let's go to page 64. So your homework, you can start now already, because you have time. I'm going to say this, page 64 to 65, and then 68. Give me one sec. 68, yeah, that's the Bush Pilot one, and 70. Okay? 64 to 65, I started it for you. I did the interpreting for you. You just have to like move numbers around, as you can tell here. So read the question, see if this makes sense to you. Move angles around using alternate interior, okay folks? Move things over. And then I want you to draw me a clean triangle of whatever we interpreted, okay? You don't have to solve. Oh, it does say solve. My key, will it have the solution? Let me check. Yes, I do solve it. So, but can I just for now ask you to make the clean triangle and then you worry about solving later? So there's 4 questions, 2 on this one, 2 on the back. The interpretation is already there, but make sure you understand how that came to be and then make a clean triangle. The clean triangle, to be honest, should only have 1 angle in it. Listen carefully, only 1 angle on the clean one. Not a gazillion angles that you transfer over, okay? There's only 1. And so see if you can make that happen, all right? So that's for the rest of today. And we'll correct it tomorrow.